Welcome everybody back to Tabletop Treasure Hunters Season 2. Super excited to be back. Very excited to start the next campaign for Season 2. So before we get too far into things, I'm going to start this off with a couple of disclaimers that we just got to get out of the way. So number one, this is, as of now, fan content and not sponsored by Paizo. We are using the Pathfinder 2nd Edition rule system, and we are playing in Paizo's setting of Galarion. So although this is a homebrewed campaign that we have put together, many of the characters, deities, rules, and the setting, etc., are owned by an awesome company named Paizo. So thank you for your content, Paizo. We have very much fun with it. Also, I'm just going to give a disclaimer for us. We do have everybody from the campaign with us tonight, as you can see here on the camera. So, we all are, as 2020 entails, all at home with our own tech, with our own internets, which means we are higher to having tech issues tonight. So we're going to try our best not to, but if we do, bear with us. We have protocols in place to get it fixed up nice and quick. So we'll cross our fingers that doesn't happen, though. So with that stuff out of the way, welcome to Tabletop Treasure Hunters, everybody. If any of you guys didn't catch Season 1, the gist of what Tabletop Treasure Hunters is this is a actual play using Pathfinder 2E rule set. And we have several guilds that are played by the lovely players here. And basically, the main, objective of this is all these guilds are working together, but also competing against each other to earn the most wealth over the season of our gameplay here. So we're going to go a lot more into that tonight. But let's go ahead and start introductions and whatnot. Before I introduce our players, I want to talk to you, everybody in chat. Part of the fun of this campaign that people have enjoyed is we do have lots of chat interactions and ways that you as the viewers can interact with the campaign. So before we start doing introductions, I'll let you guys know what we've got going on. We do have a lot of chat interactions typically. This first session is mostly about introductions, and we're also going to be doing our first job draft. And if you keep watching, you'll find out what the job drafts are. But because there is no actual dice rolling tonight or combat, there are less chat interactions than usual. But what you guys can do tonight on every single stream, if you guys like the stream, make sure you call out your favorite guild that you would like to support. We've got 4 of them, and we're going to be talking more about those a little later in the episode. But if you know who it is already, let me know. If not, you guys can hold it until you learn more, and then you can tell me who you want to support. But for every stream like that supports a guild, they're going to get some passive income in the form of gold that they can use to help them along their quests. If you guys share the stream, typically what that's going to do is it's going to give hero points. But since hero points are not existing in this session today, instead you guys can gift 10 gold towards their job draft auction. Basically, they're going to be blind bidding an amount of gold to choose an order of which they get to pick jobs in. So we've got several jobs they get to choose from. They get a bid to see what pick order they get. If you guys share the stream and support that guild, they'll get a little bit of a leg up on that, which will give them more of a chance of getting the jobs they want to get. So that is good for them. If you're a new follower, you can call it a guild to support as well and just give them a flat out 20 gold in their pockets to spend if they want to. And then we also have some star interactions if you guys want to go really above and beyond and support the stream. Stars are a paid Facebook currency if you guys would like to spend some of those. Number one, every one of these guilds has an ultimate ability that they can use once throughout the season. The only way they can get another use of that is by stars. So if you guys donate stars, you can put them towards a guild. Once a certain number of stars hits that guild, they will get another use of their ultimate. And also, if you guys check the chat description, there's a couple of gifting options where you guys can give the guilds some items to use on their quests. And that's pretty much it for stream support tonight, guys. So it looks like a bunch of you are already throwing out shares and support for the guilds. So thank you very much for doing that. I'll be keeping an eye on that throughout the chat. I'll make sure I tally it up before the job draft. And that's that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the real party here. Let's start introducing our players. So we're just going to kind of go around the table. You guys go ahead, describe yourselves as actual players. Feel free to plug anything or introduce anything you would like about yourselves. And then give us just a brief description about the character you're going to be playing. We're going to be meeting the characters a little more in depth later on. But I'll start. I am Chase. This is my channel. I go on the internet by Wholesome Dad Gamer. I'm going to be playing the DM for this campaign. So I'm going to be doing, the friendly things and the not so friendly things to the players and basically putting the world together. And then we'll go ahead and we'll start with Toby.
Yeah, hi, I'm Toby. I am a GM for the SideQuest Inn and a player here. Super excited to start this new adventure with the whole group. That's really it for me.
Awesome.
I guess I'll be playing Otis with Company of Honor.
Very cool. What about you, Erica?
Hi, I'm Erica. I am with Of Dice and Dames along with Emily and Katie. We typically stream on Mondays, and I am playing Leaf, who is a catfolk, for the Company of Honor.
Nice. Dedicated with the fangs. I love it. How about you, Felicia?
Hey everyone, I'm Felicia. I also play with the SideQuest Inn podcast. Not a DM, thankfully, just a player. And I'm going to be playing Wizwazar McWalkie for this stream.
Wonderful name. How about Tori?
Hey, I'm Tori, also known as Level 1 Geek on the internet. I run a blog for people who are new to tabletop role-playing games and helping them get into it. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff at Level 1 Geek. And my website is level1geek.com. And I am Wizwazar's partner in not crime, maybe sometimes crime, Dura, Dead Speaker of Clan Korgak of the Foresight faction.
Awesome. That's quite the title. I love it. How about you, Alex? And you are muted, I believe. There you go.
My name is Alex, and I'm excited to be on season 2 of Tabletop Treasure Hunters. Previously, I was Sapisto with the Goldblood Mercs. Back now, playing Arbiter Themis with the Contract Consortium, or Consortium. Take your pick. Both are correct. We checked.
Right. Awesome. And Brian.
Hey, I'm Brian. I'm also excited to be playing. I'm going to be playing Paya Pock for the Contract Consortium, and I tried to get both in there.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Katie.
I'm Katie, also known on the internet as Winchester. I'm, Sarika said, part of Dice and Dames and returning for season 2 from season 1.
Where you played.
Playing Irina Bratu, who is part of the Syndicate of Rights.
I'm also returning from season 1.
Yes, indeed, playing Faithy in season 1. Awesome. How about you, Wade?
Hi, I'm Wade. I am not returning from season 1, but I did guest on it, so you know. I stream every Wednesday on Twitch as well for twitch.tv/Brambleberry Games. We do Monster of the Week, and I will be playing Dorian Nile. And he is in Syndicate of Rights with Irina, which she loves.
Oh yeah, look how excited she looks. Awesome. How about you, Em? You're muted. There you go.
I didn't know I was going to be introducing myself. Hey! I'm Em, otherwise known as Anthrama on the internet. I am 1/3 of the Up Dice and Dame crew. We guest on shows around the internet and promote the TTRPG community and dabble around in some video games. So if you have a Kickstarter or a product of some sort that you want us to promote, let us know.
Awesome. And then I would like to introduce one person who is not on camera, but has been a huge help to the production of season 2. Big shout out to Kim Young. She was part of season 1 playing Gordon, and this season she has just been a huge help with helping with overlays and character art and just anything that I need an extra hand on. So thank you, Kim, if you're out there in the chat. Awesome. So that is us, guys. That is us as players, and that is the gist of the characters. We're going to be introducing guild by guild a little more specifically. So I'm going to start this one off for anybody who missed season 1. I'm going to give a little bit of a recap. For season 1, previously on Tabletop Treasure Hunters, basically last season we had 2 guilds who were competing against each other. We had the League of the Hunt and we had the Goldblood Mercs. And they kind of started this first competition. It was the first one that had ever been seen by the Alliance. The alliance that composes all the different guilds is called the First World Fortune Seekers Alliance. So these 2 were the first ones chosen. the contest was born because the Alliance had kind of a unique opportunity where they were given access to a very high-profile job. They were one of the few who were given access into an ancient Osirian tomb, who was said to hold the remains of a pharaoh of sorts, which was rumored to have just very large amounts of wealth. So the Alliance basically held the competition to see which of the guilds had access to go explore this, as only 4 were allowed in. And the 2 guilds that were chosen to compete were the Gold Blood Mercs and League of the Hunt. So they competed over the year, doing different jobs, donating goods that they got, and just seeing who could earn the most wealth in the name of the Alliance. By the end of it, they had a little bit of a rough ending at the end. They went into a gauntlet, which was supposed to be kind of a friendly last dash to get some loot, but actually ended up being run by some sort of sinister gentleman who put them through just a really horrific fight for their lives, testing their sacrifices and what they were willing to give up. So after that experience, the Gold Blood Mercs actually ended up dropping out of the competition, which put the win to the League of the Hunt. So the League of the Hunt ended up going into the tomb. They faced a whole bunch of dangers and puzzles, and when they got to the bottom of it, they ended up finding a pharaoh with indeed a ton of riches and wealth, and they found, most importantly, a book. And this book that they found had basically the secrets to becoming a deity, and not only becoming a deity, but killing deities. And it was put down there to protect from the wrong hands. As they were gaining access to this book, their Alliance leader, Lady Shadara, ended up entering the tomb and revealing her true nature. She was actually indeed an ancient creature from Old Osirian, who had been basically trying to find somebody to get through all of these traps which were geared against her to get into this tomb. So she tried to get one of them to grab the book. Grabbing the book entailed sacrificing yourself and either taking the book with you and making sure it could never harm anybody again or be used again, or rising to godhood. The party battled off Lady Shadara successfully, though Gordon in the end ended up grabbing the book, sacrificing himself so that Lady Shadara couldn't get access to it. And in turn, that did kill Gordon. He chose to destroy the book rather than rising to godhood, and that was the last we saw of poor little Gordon. And in the fight, Lucy, part of the League of the Hunt, was also slain. But Finley and Fafi survived and took the riches and brought it back in the name of the Alliance. Got to, keep it for themselves. And that brings us to Season 2, which has taken place 5 years later. So it has been 5 years since the competition, and that's where we're going to begin our story here. The new leader of the Alliance is Emmerich, who was one of the elite of the League of the Hunt. He wasn't quite the leader. The league was run by 4 different people. The leader of the League of the Hunt itself being his sister, and now he has taken over the Alliance. So we're starting our story here in kind of the plaza of the Alliance, which is located in Absalom on Galarion. All of the guilds have kind of their own guild houses and properties, which are all kind of circled around this grand plaza, which is kind of just central territory for the Alliance. So Emmerich has gathered everybody together. There's a huge feast. There's tables set everywhere. There is just the best food that you can get. All of the guilds are here. Now, in the First World Fortune Seekers Alliance, there's not just the 4 guilds that are participating. It's made up of several guilds. But the ones who have been chosen for this competition, and this has been common knowledge, are the Company of Honor, the Foresight Faction, the Contract Consortium, and the Syndicate of Rights. This has already been discussed. He has already been telling people what's going on for the most part. He has already chosen the champions from these different factions, and this is just kind of a feast that he's having to honor the competition coming back. It has been a big debate. The contest has not been held since, number one, because there hasn't really been a reason to, but it was kind of a stain on the reputation of the Alliance. Because of what happened with Lady Shadara, people getting killed, the whole thing of it being kind of a sinister motive, it's not something that's very well spoken of. So we're starting here. All of you guys are kind of out in the audience, feasting with your friends, mingling with maybe other guilds or your own guild. And Emmerich is kind of up at the front. He's using some kind of magic to amplify his voice, speaking to everybody. Thank you for joining us, everybody of the Alliance. We're glad to have you here. Now, I know many of you have been speaking and wondering about why we're holding a contest again. It's not something that we speak well of. The old leader, Lady Shadara, curse her name, put this into something tainted for us. I've been trying hard over the last 5 years to do a better job than she did, and I hope I have. So many of you are concerned of why this is coming back. But I have a vision for this. I want to make this an annual tradition. I want to turn this into something that we can help forget about the dark past. I want this to be more of a teamwork exercise, something to bring us together, something to celebrate, something to remind us of the past so that we can remember what we've overcome and not what happened and not what we lost. So I bring this competition back, and I do so with some new refined rules for it. Now, the Pathfinder Society was courteous enough to help sponsor this competition for this year and hopefully for future years. The Pathfinder Society has offered to take the winners of this competition and let them join on one of their high-profile jobs. They'll get to keep all of the riches. They're kindly letting that slide. They will help you. A pair of them will come with you, but you get to keep everything found, as long as they get to track any knowledge or history that's within. Now, I have chosen my champions from each of the 4 guilds this year. The reason we're taking 4 guilds this time is this will not be guilds going against guild on every job. I'm going to be mixing and mingling the guilds. That means that on these jobs, not only will you be fighting for your own guilds, but you'll have to be working together. Working as a team, remembering what's most important. We don't just fight for ourselves, we fight as a greater group, as a greater cause. The First World Fortune Seekers Alliance is supposed to mean something grand, something to hopefully rival the Pathfinder Society one day. So, I hope you can all accept these terms, and I hope you're all excited about it. We will be giving these 4 guilds the most high priority jobs that are available to us. So that will be a prize all on its own. But working with the Pathfinder Society on one of their high jobs is quite an honor, and I hope it's something that you seek. So, without further ado, I would like to announce formally the 4 guilds to be competing this year will be the Company of Honor, the Foresight Faction, the Contract Consortium, and the Syndicate of Rights. Congratulations to you 4. You've performed very well over the last year, and that's why I've chosen you. All of you have done excellent. It was a hard decision, but for this year, that's who will be competing. And I hope that all of you can support them in their mission. Thank you very much, and enjoy the feast. He's going to raise a drink. Everybody will cheer and clap, and it's just kind of a general positive, high energy. So following that, there will be festivities, there will be dancing, there will be music, there will be food along with dessert, and it's just an awesome good time. And after that, Emrick's going to be going around talking to the different champions. This is where we bring Benegog in. Benegog, you are going to be approaching Emrick as he is discussing with the champions from the Company of Honor. You have not met Emrick in person yet. You've obviously heard of him. But you definitely want to get some insights about what's going on. So this is the first time he's been more or less not crowded with people, except for a couple of the champions. So we're going to go ahead and learn a little bit more about the Company of Honor.
Hello, that would be us. It's me and Otis here. We're buddies.
You could call us buddies.
Well, isn't that what we are? We've been traveling together for quite some time now.
Buddies or friends, one of the two.
Hey, but they seem great to me. I'll take them both.
Awesome. And Benegog, you'll approach as Emrick is discussing with these two. What do you have to say? Yes, you're Benegog, right? A scholar? Historian. I see. Yes, that is something. I hope you just heard my speech. Something that is very regrettable. But this should hopefully replace the history books with something a little more positive. That's my purpose for doing it. No, but we want to learn from it and improve upon it, right? And I do appreciate you putting us in the history books.
Chat says they cannot hear you, Em.
For notifying me. Damn it.
Awesome. Is that good, chat?
It should be
we can
good now.
protect us. Very cool. Awesome.
All right. So let me just do that again.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Hello, Emmerich. I see you have revived the competition. I hope you know that we will be tracking you very carefully this year.
Yes. It's good to hear you putting us in the history books.
Yes. So how exactly are you going to be honoring the past while progressing into the future?
Well, I think the whole competition itself is how we're doing that. The competition was meant to be something to bring us together in the first place. It obviously didn't end up that way. It was a bit of a shame. But that's why I'm mixing the guilds together this year, promoting teamwork and working together while still making sure we don't forget the past.
Tell me about the Company of Honor. These are the champions for the Company of Honor, correct?
Yes, this is Otis and Leaf, the two champions I've chose for the Company of Honor. Company of Honor, full of good causes, these ones. Run by ex-Crusaders. They're pretty much dedicated to just doing good around Galarian. That's really enough said about them. They're good people.
That's wonderful. Now, can you tell me a little bit more about the Company of Honor itself?
Yes, I mean, the Company of Honor was founded by an ex-military group of Crusaders who fought in the battle for the World Wound.
Oh.
They liked the idea of the First World Fortune Seekers Alliance, and they wanted to form a faction from it. So Lady Shadara, cursed her name, is actually the one who approved it. But they've been doing good ever since, despite the leadership.
If I may direct a question to the champions, what do you think gives you the edge to win this competition?
That's a very good question. Don't you think that good should always prevail? And that is what we are here to prove. No shenanigans, no evil doings. All good deeds.
It's actually because Leaf told me that if I helped him win this, I could finally retire, which should have happened a year ago, might I add.
It's a little bit of a running joke. I don't think he's ever going to retire.
After this win, I sure will.
We'll see about that, I guess.
It seems you two know each other quite well. As you seem to know each other quite well.
Decently.
We've been traveling together for about 7-8 years.
At least one cat lifetime for me. I think I'm down to 4.
That's quite amusing. Yes, so tell us a little bit about yourself that we can put down in the records. Leif, what is your favorite color?
Oh, I do love tending my gardens and doing a lot of... You see my paw here, it's a little green, it's grass stained, so I must say that my favorite color is going to be green for the gardens.
Skip the favorite color, ask Leaf about his alchemy, because it's legendary.
Tell me about your alchemy then.
I just love to grow reagents and other things in my yard and create and try different combinations to really find the best outcome. It is a hobby.
It's a hobby. And Otis, what do you excel in? What do you bring to this competition? Oh, we cannot hear you. Do speak up, Otis.
Otis, she tells you to speak up.
Still can't hear you, Otis.
It's session 0, guys. That's what happens.
Somebody cast a silence spell?
I didn't do it this time. That was just a mere mistake.
Someone has cursed poor Otis. I see.
You know, I've had my eye on this arena lady.
Perhaps Emmerich can tell us a bit about Otis.
Oh, yes. Otis here. Best investigator I've ever met. Smart as a whip. And, that's about enough to be said about him. Smartest Shoney I've ever met. Shuni.
Call him a Shoney, he'll love it. It's good to get a good little giggle out of him, which turns into more of a gruff.
while Otis is getting his audio figured out, I'll talk a little bit out of character about the Company of Honor. So we have 4 different guilds this season, and the guilds all kind of have their own perks and interests that are tied to them. So for the Company of Honor, every guild has their own unique hero point use this season. So if any of you guys followed along season 1, you guys were able to give hero points which were used for rerolls and cheating death, etc. And they still kind of have that same general idea to them. They can still use them to do heroic recoveries and cheat death, but instead of having the standard reroll, every guild kind of has their own unique spin on it. So for the Company of Honor, their hero point use is more or less kind of how they used to be last season. As a free action, Company of Honor can spend a hero point to give a free reroll to any of their allies, not just themselves, to any attack roll or saving throw. And they can take the better result of the reroll at a +2. And then, as I discussed earlier, every guild has their own unique ultimate ability. Company of Honors is called the Champion of the Divine. So they can use this once during the campaign, unless it is recharged by you guys chat, by doing some star interactions. But what Champion of the Divine does is they can choose to use that before a session, and every single member of every single player, not even in their guild, in that session can start with 1 blessing of their choice that matches their alignment. So one of the chat interactions we'll have on a standard session is if somebody donates 200 stars or is a Patreon supporter or is a new follower, you can choose to give one of the players a blessing from one of the Pathfinder deities. And we have a whole list of them. Company of Honor, if they use their ultimate, everybody gets to start with one of those in play of their choice, which is pretty powerful. And their kind of primary guild interests are to redeem and destroy great evil. So basically, if these players kind of play along with their guild interests throughout the season, after every round of job drafts, starting after this first one, they'll be getting basically unique guild feats that they'll unlock. And that's Company of Honor.
I thought I heard.
Can you hear me now?
Otis, your
yes.
curse has faded. That
It
is
was
wonderful.
probably a tincture that Leaf made.
Not this time.
Practicing,
sorry.
I see.
What was the question?
I was asking, what are you so skilled at? What do you bring to this competition personally?
Oh, yes, I can identify a crime scene in the split second. You
Oh.
show me something, I can tell you what happened, when, how long ago.
That is a bit terrifying. But
It is.
probably a
It's
useful
useful.
skill to have. Yes, of course.
It's nice to know when any of my reagents mixed together have gone wrong, and you can tell me which ones.
So, if since you're doing a partnership with the rest of the guild, what should have the other guilds look forward to with working with you?
I mean, need we say more? Look at us.
We do, historically, our species do not quite get along, but I like to think we we knocked
probably
that out of the
didn't
park.
notice. I'm a Shuni.
A gruffy shoonie.
Yes, the Shuni and the catfolk alike. I'm sure we will be quite entertained following the pair of you.
Oh, I agree.
Indeed.
Well, I've got to go speak to the other champions, Benegog. If you wanted to join me, you're welcome to ask them some questions as well.
I would be happy to, yes, of course.
Now you're not spinning our words or anything here, right? Putting them in the history books as they're being said?
We will record them word for word.
All right.
Yes.
Come along. Hey, thanks, Otis and Leaf. Good luck.
pleasure.
Very
You.
welcome. Good luck. Have a good time with everybody else, but not too good of a time.
I'm off to
No
get a
such
drink.
thing.
I'll go with you.
Beware
Yes,
those
enjoy the
tinctures.
refreshments. So that is Otis and Leaf. Otis is a Shuni investigator, and Leaf is a catfolk alchemist. So thank you, Toby and Erica, for your characters. All right, we're going to go on over to the Foresight faction. All right, Benegog. So this here is Dura and Wizwazar.
It's
our two champions
pronounced
from the
Dura.
Foresight. Dura. Sorry, I'm still getting the hang of that.
Dura.
Dura dead speaking.
Dura.
Dura. Yes?
Yes.
I'll get it. Don't worry. They're part of the Foresight faction. Foresight faction, smart people. They dedicate their research here with the Alliance to kind of trying to find some future disasters, prevent them. They make sure they document everything. They're pretty much our knowledge base of the Alliance. We have questions about something that needs to be documented or how something works. We go to the Foresight faction.
Record keepers. I can appreciate that. Not that I'm picking favorites, but that is quite interesting.
Yeah, relatable.
Yes, indeed.
This is Benegog, historian. She wants to ask you guys a couple questions.
All right, nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. Wizwazar, is that correct?
The name's Wizwazar Magwaki, but you can just call me Wiz or Wizwaz, whatever you prefer.
Of course. And you said your name was Dead Speaker, Dura Dead Speaker.
Dura Dead Speaker. Yes.
You are quite the unusual pair. I mean, one so tall and then one so short. How did you come to meet?
Do you want to
Go
explain?
ahead, Sadiq.
All right. Basically, what I remember was that we both took the same job, and it's been like now 3 years back, and we just never left. Shortly after we met, I took a vow to no longer damage or hurt other people or creatures, and I needed someone who could keep me safe, and I think we both do that for each other.
Yes. I am quite good at the other part. And Wiz here. Keeps me safe. While I keep him safe.
Maybe not kept you safe, but kept you healthy. You get hurt quite a lot. If
They
I
are
remember.
one in the same.
Good healer keeps everybody safe.
Yes.
Just
A
after the
meat
fact.
tank, I see. I see. Of course. Now, I have to ask, are you concerned at all with the way the last competition ended with Lady Shadara, curse her name?
I mean,
fear no one.
yeah.
There's no one.
Honestly, we just have to look forward and do the best we can.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And I have given an oath to not end up being evil.
Of course. And if oaths kept everyone from being evil, we would have everyone in Galarion take oaths.
I also do not fear Emeric.
Oh.
Yeah, as you shouldn't. I mean, I'm a good fighter, but, a good guy.
Now, Wizwaz, your name is nearly impronounceable. How did you come about this name? Was it given to you at birth?
It was. My ma and my pa, I think they just picked the name out of a hat, to be quite honest. Not quite sure. But I never much liked it, to be honest with you. I like Wizwaz or Wiz. It's just a name. It doesn't actually determine
your
who I am. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Tell us, Wiz, what was there?
You can just say Wiz.
Wiz, sorry. Wiz, tell us, what do you bring to this competition? You're a healer, is that correct?
I am. I from a very young age, I've been very good with the touch of the hands, the healing people, and never been much good at wielding weapons or anything like that. So I mostly just make sure people are feeling good. You may have noticed that you might feel a little bit better right now. Your color's looking good. Just being around me.
Thank you.
That's true. It is.
Oh, I do feel quite vitalized. And I assume if Wiz is not good with weapons, Dura, you must be incredible with weapons.
She has a big falchion strapped on her back. Yes, that is what I bring to the table, I guess you could say.
Even if she didn't have that, she could tear you limb from limb.
Oh, I like you, Wiz. You're speaking for her in a very colorful way. Terse.
Well,
Dura seems terse.
It's been a long time we've been together, and sometimes it's just easier for me to explain some of the things. She's not very talkative, to be honest with you.
Well, perhaps
Wiz has the words and the color. I have the weapons.
And quite the fearsome ones.
So perhaps, Wiz, you could answer this question for Dura. What challenges has she overcome to get here today?
I mean, quite honestly, she's she's just been through, I think, a lot, but she doesn't really talk much, so I don't really know that much about before we met. But honestly, just lots of wounds, but I help with that.
I can explain more if you wish.
Please do.
Benegog. I come from the clan Korgak. It is a clan of all half-orcs.
Incredible.
We live quite removed from the rest of the world. But now I must come out as the clan's dead speaker. That is someone who seeks knowledge from the outside of the clan to bring it back and strengthen the clan. It is also someone who speaks to the ancestors, as I do.
Oh, you speak
And-
to ancestors.
Yes, and fights the undead, which is what brought myself and Sadiq was here together.
You keep referring to Wiz as Sadiq, is that correct? What is this, a pet name?
Wiz is not pet.
That's not what I never meant to infer.
Do you mind if I just cut
Yes,
in here and
please.
explain? So, Dura, she says this for me because it means in Orcish it means friend.
I love that. You're friends. Now,
That's
working together with the rest of these guilds, what do these two friends bring to a party comp? Why should people choose you to work with?
I mean, you're probably not going to die if you take me along, and
That
you'll
is a
probably get hurt
convincing
if you take her.
argument.
So
Wiz here is one of the best healers the Alliance has seen since Gordon.
that's what I said.
That is incredible. Incredible, honestly. Well, it seems like you two are well on your way to being successful in this competition.
Thank-
Did you need to move on to another group, or do we have more time here?
Oh yeah, I've got some more to show you.
It was a
No,
pleasure.
no time for Wiz. Goodbye. Have a good day.
Farewell.
Yeah, good luck, Dura and Wiz. So,
Dora.
out of character, this was Dora Dead Speaker, who is a half-orc spirit barbarian. And then we have got Wizwazar, who is a gnome life oracle. They are part of the Foresight faction. So to go over the Foresight faction's kind of unique abilities they bring to the table, they are all about knowledge and kind of preventing disaster. So that's what they're going to be role-playing throughout the season. Their unique hero point use that they get is that they can spend a hero point to automatically succeed at a recall knowledge, or allow an ally to reroll initiative, take the better result at a +2. So for anybody who's unfamiliar with Pathfinder rules, recalling knowledge is a secret roll. So sometimes when you roll it, if you're rolling bad, well, I'm rolling bad because I'm secretly rolling for them, they might get some lies or misinformation. So using their hero point means that they can confidently know that they are getting the correct information about what they're trying to recall on. And then their guild ultimate is called Foresight, as they are the Foresight faction. So this is usable once during the campaign. And basically what this does is this gives them a special cache of items that their guild has sent them with on this mission. The guild has obviously done a ton of research about where they're going. And this replaces their typical hero point use. Instead of doing automatically recalling at a recall knowledge, they can use a hero point to draw an item from this cache of items, and me as the DM will give them an item from this cache that will be relevant and helpful to their situation. These items are either going to be consumables or borrowed items, so they're not going to be worth anything. They're not going to help them with donating or earning more wealth, but they will help them quite a bit in combat. And then alongside that, since their hero point gets replaced, they will automatically succeed at every recall knowledge during that session. So a pretty good ultimate for them. And with that, let's go over to the contract consortium. So Benegog.
Oh.
Next up, we've got the contract consortium. Champions I have here, Arbiter Themis. That is the proper title, correct?
Excuse us, Chancellor. We'll finish this conversation later. I'm sorry, what?
Yes, and do say hello to your wife for me. I'm sorry, yes?
They are quite high-profile people. They've got some big connections here. So Arbiter Themis and Pyapok. This is Benegog. She is a historian, kind of taking some notes and interviewing everybody.
Pleasure.
They're part of the contract consortium, high noble status. They put together some contracts. I don't exactly understand how it all works. Some people say it's a little shady, but these are great people. It's fine. They how about you explain it, Arbiter Themis?
There's nothing shady about it, dear. You just must make sure you read the fine print.
Right. See, it's fine.
I see. How do you think that this contract consortium business will help you in this competition? Was that going to play a part? Contracts? Are you making contracts for the other guilds to sign?
They have drafted up all the legal contracts. I've read through them quite well. Everything is in order.
In order and by the books.
Not these two specifically, of course. We didn't want any bias, but the contract consortium helps us with all of our legal business and kind of our high-end contacts. They actually get us a lot of the jobs that we have.
Oh, I see. So you're knowledgeable then, like the Foresight faction, but you are lawyers.
I am. I'm an arbiter.
Ah, yes. How did you come by this title? Is it official or self-given?
It is official. It was given to me by the thrice-downed House of Thrune.
Of course. That is quite impressive. What drew you to this competition?
Well, I was simply looking for a change of scenery. I was part of the cases and trials that were handled in West Crown after the Revolution and Rebellion. And now that those are over, I'm just seeking something different and aiding the contract consortium in other ways.
Incredible. I'm sorry, and you said your name was Pia? Pia?
Pia. Pia Park.
Pia, a pleasure to meet you, Pia. And
you too, I'm sure.
How did you meet Arbiter Themis?
Oh, that's a longer story than we probably can go over today, but to keep it short, she represented me in a case a long time ago, and was quite successful, might I add. And that's how we met.
And we are old friends.
Old friends.
How wonderful for you. Now, so how did you end up joining the contract consortium, Pia?
Oh, after the case, I decided I needed a change of business. I was a tax collector, you see, and decided that things weren't going quite the way I wanted them to in Cheliax, so went out seeking other ventures and more just stumbled upon the contract consortium. And it felt like a nice fit for me and my skills and talents. I am quite proficient with tax law and law in general, but it just drew me in.
Incredible. Now, what can the other guilds expect working with you? What do you bring to the metaphorical table?
Arbiter?
Consistency, dependability, trustworthiness, and
honoring our word.
Exactly.
I've heard tell that you have a tendency to get the job done the right way every time.
Every time.
If you're placed with a guild that is perhaps a bit more wild, how do you think your styles will mesh?
Well, we'll find a way.
We do have very strict alliance guidelines. Everybody is going to work great together. I'm very confident about it.
Yes. Well, we know where confidence got the cat.
Where?
Oh, it's just a saying.
Is that a joke?
I don't believe that's how it's written.
Oh, well, perhaps that's not how you have read it, but it is written that way somewhere, I'm sure.
You would know. You are the journalist.
Well, historian, records keeper. Journalist is a bit frivolous.
Oh, but you are doing the interviewing, are you not?
I'm just recording what is happening. Yes.
She's got to ask the questions that need to be filled into the history books.
Thank you,
I've heard of
Sounds like journalism.
Pretty notable.
Well, you are quite the intimidating pair. I am sure that you will get far in your venture.
Aren't they, though? Thank you, Arbiter Themis and Paya. Good luck to you in the competition. He'll kind of put an arm around Benegog and start walking away. I know the House of Thrune's a bit of a debatable topic, but I assure you, we have everything in line under Alliance guidelines. It's going to be fine.
You're sure?
Anyway, Chancellor, what were you saying?
Yes.
So, out of character, Contract Consortium is our lawful evil guild. So their interests and kind of their hero points and whatnot. Their hero point use is going to be as a free action, the trigger being an ally deals damage. They can either have the triggering damage roll be re-rolled, or it can be increased by 50%, which is quite powerful. And then their ultimate is called Infernal Agreements, which is usable once during the campaign, unless recharged by you, chat. Their guild heads kind of draft up some contracts for the session, and each guild member will be given a devil minion for the session. They can choose which devil they want, but the total level of both devils cannot exceed their level +2. So they can either both have a devil, or one of them can control a very powerful devil, which is a pretty strong ultimate. Their kind of general overviews on what they're looking for is to uphold image and high reputation, and to obtain power. And again, if anybody missed kind of what the guilds get for following their guild interests throughout the seasons, is if they're role-playing according to their guild interests, they will be getting some unique guild feats after the job drafts. And that is the Contract Consortium. So last but not least, let's go over to the Syndicate of Rights. Benegog. So the last guild we have here in the competition is Syndicate of Rights. They're all about rituals, and they're pretty much a pretty religious group.
Oh.
And some people think they're a little sketchy. Ritual has kind of a negative connotation put towards it, but everybody in the Alliance here has the Alliance in interest. It's going to be great. This is Irina Bratu and Dorian Nile, our two champions.
Irina, you need to smile more. You need to be friendlier. This is a party. This is a party. You gotta, act like you want to be here.
We've gone over
Please.
this already.
Oh, sorry.
Stop
Hi.
talking.
Yes.
Irina, Dorian, this is Benegog. She's a historian here to ask a couple questions for the books.
Great, more talking.
It's a pleasure.
So, now this is something, I don't visit the Syndicate of Rights as often as I should. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your rituals and what you guys are about? I'm curious with this one, along with Benegog, I'm sure.
Then why did you hire us if you didn't know what was going on?
Well, you're
No,
part
what she means by that is it's very particular on what we're doing for the moment, right? It depends on the job, what ritual we must do. It's very dependent, is all.
Now, Irina, wasn't somebody else going to pair up with Dorian? Are you
No,
new?
no, it's always been me.
No, it was planned from the beginning. We complement each other in a very fine way, I promise.
See, everything is fine. What questions do you have, Benegog?
Yes, what questions did I have indeed? Well, you two are like the sun and the moon, first off, from first observation, Dorian, so bright and cheerful, and Irina.
Don't give him more ammo. Do not give him more ammo.
Oh, it's just natural. Don't listen to her.
Stop.
Keep going.
Do
It's
not
fine.
give him more ammo.
It's fine. Keep going.
Ammo? I'm sorry.
And a brief fan interrupts the interview. Oh my God, is that Dorian Nile? What a
Hi,
gentleman.
yes.
Take my coin, you.
Get out!
Oh, thank you.
Get
You're
out.
too kind. You're too kind.
Oh!
Kim, thank you for the stars. Those stars will go to the Syndicate of Rights towards another charge of their ultimate. And if you want, go ahead and if you would like to specify, Kim, you can also gift somebody with 1,000 stars a permanent item of their level. So go ahead and call that out in chat. Sorry about the interruption, Benegog. Continue.
Wow, Dorian, you have fans already, and this hasn't
Yes.
even started. Tell me, how did you come to be so charming?
Oh, well, I come from a very well-off family. I don't know if you've ever heard of Niles Textiles. the number one Niles or textiles merchant in Absalom. Of
They
course.
made
I'm
my
sure
shirt.
you have. See? Yes. My last name happens to be
Mine too,
Nile.
actually, I think.
It's most likely that all of your shirts have come at least some part from Niles Textiles. Anyway, I come from them. They are my family. So of course,
And
people know me.
how
I know
did you meet this unique specimen next to you?
That is of no concern of yours.
No,
It's for the
we-
history books, Arena.
I don't care.
We
She's
became fast friends. is
feisty,
all.
this one.
That's not true either. We are not friends. We are colleagues. We are here to win this competition. There's no friend factor. Here. I want
Colleagues,
this
friends,
straight.
it's all the same thing.
That is
Either way,
not the
all-
same thing. You need to redefine every word in your dictionary immediately.
Aaron, calm
No,
down.
that
You
is
need to breathe.
again. That is
It's
not
okay.
my name. My name is Irina. We have been over this.
Of course. Anyway,
What?
Perhaps I could move on to another question.
please, yes.
Continue.
Your hair is looking fine, might I add.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, appreciate that. What is specific to your past that will help give you an edge in this competition?
I can kill things.
She's very talented at it.
Useful?
A feisty attitude really comes out in combat, I'm sure.
I
That's-
can't
that's a
imagine it being more feisty than it is now. Dorian, how about you tell us about your abilities?
Well, I did go to a dueling school for quite some time, so I am quite proficient at it. But I have my own unique style with it as well. I'm very up in your face. I like to intimidate, to take your weapon from you, basically. Anyone that is fighting with me will not be hit because the enemy will not have a weapon to hit them with.
Well,
As simple as that.
It's because he won't stop talking, so they're very baffled as to why they should hit him if he won't shut up.
well, the pen is my weapon. I hope you don't take that from me.
Oh, but of course not. I would love for you to write more about me.
You are so silly. So silly.
And Arena here's got some good jokes.
Yes, jokes.
I have a question that was submitted actually specifically for you, Dorian. I don't really understand the verbiage on it, but it says, does it really do be like that sometimes?
Oh, it does.
Okay.
It quite
No.
does.
No.
Oh,
Straight
No.
every time. It's every time.
It just do be like that sometimes. Okay.
It does. Yes, it does.
Am
Why
I
are we
missing
giving him
something?
ammo? Why
I-
are we? It's because you let him start talking, Emmerich. I warned you about this in these interviews. He will not stop talking.
Arena, perhaps I can
haven't
direct a
talked in,
question
like,
to
last
you.
5 seconds.
What?
For not wanting him to talk, you don't really seem so willing to talk, so I'll make this quick. What drives you to get up in the morning and go adventuring?
What does that even mean? Who doesn't want to get up in the morning?
Well,
Norderber guides my hands, and that's all that needs to be said.
oh,
She really likes money. A lot.
Also
Norderber?
this.
And murdering. The right people for the right job, obviously.
I'm sorry, Emmerich, did you not know my god?
I knew you're a cleric. I'm sure he's got-
Norderber represents me. This around my neck, it is very prominent. Are you blind?
No, I'll have to catch up on my religion studies for him.
Emmerich, how
I've
do
heard some
you feel?
not so good things, but I'm sure it's misconceptions.
How do
He
you
is
feel
fine.
about the guilds you have chosen for this competition? What's
how do
your
I-
first impression?
Well, they've all performed wonderful over the last year and couple of years, in fact. So it was a pretty easy choice. The Gold Bloods and League of the Hunt were in the last competitions, and they were close. They slowed down a bit after the last competition. Some of their big players retired, and Finley has actually been a big supporter of the Alliance in general. So they've kind of been changing their focuses around, but these 4 guilds have done excellent. I have no doubt that I made the right choice. Jobs are going to get done incredibly efficiently, I can assure you that.
For
If
being
Dorian ever stops talking.
for being so confident in your choice, it seems that you don't know your guilds as well as one might hope. But I
No, I
suppose
mean-
time will tell.
I'm very familiar with the guilds for the most part. I have a board of advisors as well, and I trust them very much. It should be good. A couple of them were some last minute decisions. I'm very confident about it, Benegog.
Her eyes pointedly go to Arena, and then Dorian. It does seem that some choices were made better than others, but I suppose we will all see people's skills in the field.
I promise they won't disappoint. It's promising to be an exciting competition with some incredible feats being accomplished. And I think that's all the time I have, Benegog. I need to go discuss with the champions as I was originally intending.
Benegog, if you'd like a personal interview, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely, he doesn't have time for
I've got to
that.
speak to him first, but I'll let you know when he's free.
We'll arrange it.
We've got our first job draft coming up, so I'm sure that you'll hear about that afterwards. Though it is Guild and Alliance members only for that, I'm sorry to say.
Well, it was my pleasure. Mostly.
Yes. Make sure that you don't twist anything. Don't be afraid to make us sound a little glorious. Not that we don't anyways, but thanks, Benegog.
You're quite welcome, and it will be recorded exactly as it is.
That's all I ask. So, out of character, Syndicate of Rights is our chaotic evil guild for this season. So as you guys can see up here a little bit about them on the screen, their interest is to collect dark artifacts, honor evil gods, and persevere at any moral cost. Now, of course, they are not so blatant about their evilness. They do still follow the Alliance guidelines, which means that typically, people aren't ending up against the law, dead or whatnot. But they don't have the most noble methods in mind. Their hero point use is kind of a polar opposite to the Company of Honors. They can, as a free action, choose any creature that must reroll an attack roll or saving throw and take the worst result at a -2, which is pretty powerful. And then they have probably the most rude of the guild ultimates, which is called Sinister Sight. They can use this once during the campaign, and they can choose to perform a sinister ritual and curse a single job, which does not have to be a job that they are part of. And that job will gain more hazards, and one enemy during that session will become empowered. So basically, they can make a session more difficult for another group, which should be fun and interesting to see how that goes down. And that is it for our guilds, everybody. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a brief 5 to 10 minute break. I am going to tally up all of your shares and whatnot. Remember, if you have liked this stream or shared the stream, make sure you call out which guild you would like to support if you haven't already. We're going to be doing the job draft when we come back. So any shares that you guys have done to support a guild will give them a little bit of an edge on their bid for pick order. And any likes will give them a little bit of extra income. So thanks, chat. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. Explain this for anybody who did not see season 1. Basically, the way that this works is, as you guys are all aware by now, this is a competition between these guilds. And kind of part of the big strategic depth of this is that every round that we do, there will be 4 rounds of this. There's going to be 4 jobs, and the guilds are going to get to draft.
No audio. Oh, just kidding. Sorry.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Yeah, so there will be 4 jobs, and the guilds are going to get to draft slots in these jobs this season. And that's kind of how we're going to get mixing and matching the guilds this time. So basically what's going to happen is these guilds are going to do a blind bid of gold, and they each have their own gold amounts. And once we do that, I'm going to go in order from highest to lowest of what they donated. And that donation will be deducted from each guild. It will not count towards their donations for winning. It is just for the job draft. And then I'm going to go in order from highest to lowest, and they get to choose in which order they want to pick. And as you guys can see on the screen here, every job has 2 slots. The golden circle there is golden because that is a priority slot. And basically at the end of every job, they're going to also draft the loot obtained on the job. And the difference between the priority slot is they get first pick on the loot. So the loot should even out. I have a system in play that you'll just have to kind of see after the first job. But the guilds will end up getting an even amount. But as far as like physical loot obtained, the priority slot will get first pick on it. And that's kind of how that works. Now, I'm going to be explaining the jobs as we go. But also, just so you guys are aware, we also have another mechanic for the players, which we handle off stream because it just it takes a little while. We tried it once during the stream in season 1, and it just took a little too long, had a bit too much dead time. So we do this off screen, but the players have an option to scout these different jobs. They can spend different amounts of gold to get different bonuses and pieces of information about the jobs. And that's kind of secret to all of them of what they've scouted. So you guys in chat aren't going to really know what they scouted until the session happens. At the start of the sessions, I'll have the guilds explain how much they scouted and like kind of what information they obtained. And that's how we'll go over scouting. So that's job drafts in a nutshell. So we're going to go ahead and go over that. I will explain to all of you players as well, because I don't think I've made this public yet, but I can tell you guys where the guilds stand. We had several different like preparation steps that we took in character creation and choosing guilds and whatnot that kind of determined the guild's starting wealth. Some of them have scouted already. Some of them have already bought some gear. And this is the standings that we have. The Company of Honor is at 261 gold pieces. The Foresight faction is at 230 gold pieces. The Contract Consortium is at 135 gold pieces, and the Syndicate of Rights is at 107 gold pieces. So that's where you guys are standing right now, which is not necessarily ahead or behind. They've chosen to spend different stuff on different amounts of gear and whatnot, but that's what they've got to go for the blind bid here. So we're going to role play this, and we're going to start where we have got these 4 people who have been chosen to take this first round job draft: Arena, Wizwazar, Arbiter Themis, and Otis. And you guys join in this kind of accounting house for the Alliance. It looks kind of like a small courthouse for the most part. You've got some benches. There is a podium at the front. You guys have your guild scouts who have done their reports and are giving the reports to you. So you guys will kind of have a minute to look over those and whatnot. And the only other people in this room is up at the front sitting down is Emmerich. And then at the podium itself, there is a old little gnome gentleman who is sitting upon like just a very large stack of books to kind of get himself to reach the top of the podium, which is not adjustable. He's got a big bag of coins and he's got a whole bunch of papers that he's kind of scribbling on. You guys have heard of him before. His name is Lord Physics. He is the Alliance accountant. It is physics as of F-I-Z-Z-I-X. Anybody who makes jokes about the science physics upsets him greatly. And that's where we're going to start here. So Lord Physics, after just a long pause, you guys have kind of been sitting there for a while, is going to clear his throat. Are you all ready for the first job draft?
Yes, thank you.
Hi, yeah,
Have you done your research from your scouting reports?
of course.
Good. Now, I do appreciate punctuality. I know Emmerich drug you all here this time, but in the future, I want you all here on time. I
Are you
don't
done?
approve of tardiness.
I've been waiting outside.
I also don't approve of tight pockets. Remember, everything you do in this bid will be going towards the Alliance. It might not count towards your winnings, but it's still supporting your cause. Don't be cheap. He kind of gets an angry expression at all your silence and looks around. Understood?
Oh,
Aye.
yes.
It's
Yes,
definitely understood.
It may be your coin to spend. It doesn't mean I'll respect you if you hold it tight. Good. Well then, I know you've already looked over the jobs. At least a bit. But let's go over a recap of them, shall we? Listen up, I'm not going to repeat myself. Now, there's a temple of Abadar near Druma that's become infested with pygmy harpies. The priests and priestesses there have been driven out and would like you all to remove the harpies. They have no preference if they're killed or removed by other means. They just want the temple back. That's the first job. Now, the second one, a shepherd from Chiliax needs help relocating his herd of sheep to his new home. He's tried bringing half of his herd on his own and was beaten unconscious by something. When he awoke, all of his sheep were slaughtered, and this time he needs an escort. You'll be keeping him safe. The third one, the Alliance has been given a lead on an unexplored sea cave on the coast of the Shining Kingdoms. This cave floods at high tide, so it will need to be explored quickly. The last group of explorers who entered believed the cave held something of importance, but they never returned. They were assumed drowned. Now one of the family members is offering to pay to confirm their fate. And while you're there, you might as well take a look at what was important. It is our Alliance's lead, after all. Your job is to get earnings and loot. So take a look at that. And now the last one we have, a Taldan captain overseeing a small fort for the Taldan military has received threats of a pair of aggressive orc tribes in the area. She would like some capable warriors to assist in this defense. I don't know if there's any capable warriors here, but I sure hope so. Now, with that being said, does anybody have any questions? Don't ask me to repeat it because I won't. There was a very mouthy elf last time involved in this, and I don't want any repeats of that.
It all
Sounds
makes
alright.
sense. Let's continue.
Yeah, I agree.
Good. Feel free to discuss amongst yourselves if you would like. I don't know what kind of information you're holding or what you would like to share, but you have 2 minutes. He's going to turn an hourglass over, or like a minute glass, I guess you would call it. Have your bids to me on a parchment on my podium by the end of this time. You may begin.
So, anyone have anything to say? Nobody wants to talk about it? Right, that's fine. Thought we were supposed to like work together? It's whatever.
I'm busy writing my bid.
Well, did anyone scout? Who
Yeah,
knows what?
What the business is of it of yours, Arbiter?
it seems like maybe we don't want to work together. And I thought that was like the opposite of what we're supposed to do. So if anybody scouted, maybe let's see where we want to go.
This is still a competition.
That's fair. Right, well, I'm just going to write on my paper then. And it's lovely to meet you, all of you. Name's Westwazar, just so you know.
West was a czar. Name's Otis.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, Themis, it's good to see you again.
And you, Otis. How have you been keeping?
I have been well, nearing retirement again.
Otis, I don't think you'll ever retire. But I see you're not in the courtroom this much anymore.
No, Leaf dragged me out of the courtroom and brought me to this guild and this alliance, and here we are.
Well, it will be nice working at your side once more.
You as well.
Parchments, please.
Here you go.
Good. Now let me just take a look over these. Now, for everybody in chat here, these players have secretly sent me their amounts. I have totaled up all of your shares and support, and I consider those in their final totals here. So, just for chat to know what has been affected here, Foresight Faction is getting a 30 gold boost to their bid. Contract Consortium is getting a 20 gold boost. Company of Honor and Syndicate of Rights is getting a 10 gold boost. So I'm sure they all very much appreciate it. Thank you, chat. And I'm going to total these up here real quick. Yes, okay. Company of Honor, I see. Foresight Faction. Interesting. Contract Consortium. Yes, okay. Noted. And we have the Syndicate of Rights. I see. Okay. I've got the totals. Now, the ones who get the choice of their pick order first is the Contract Consortium. What order would you like in the draft? You may go first, you may go last, you may go anywhere in between.
First.
Arbiter Themis. Contract Consortium going first. Very good. Next up is the Foresight Faction. Wizwazar, which pick order would you like? You may not have first, you may have anything else.
Second. It's my preference.
A second. Strategy behind that, I'm sure. All right, next up is the Syndicate of Rights. Irina, is it? Third or fourth?
Can you count after 2?
I can count quite well.
Then you know
I'm
where
an
we want to
accountant
go.
for the Alliance.
Then
I
you
should-
know where we want to go.
His face is bright red. You need to say it. There could be strategies I'm not aware of in your strange mind.
Number 3, you
Thank you
imbecile.
very much, then. Syndicate goes third. Now, that puts you company of honor. I hope less rudely may you tell me that you are accepting the fact that you are going last.
I'm choosing last is what I am doing.
Yes, of course you are. Very well, then. Now, just so you're all clear about it, I know Emmerich has explained it before, but you may all pick a slot in one of these jobs. Each job has a priority and a secondary. You may choose either slot in any order when it is your turn. That means not all the priority slots need to be filled first. Do any of you have any questions? No, then? Good. Contract Consortium. What job would you like to take first? I am calling these jobs a small problem, because pygmy harpies. Shepherd's Path, because a shepherd. Go with the tides, because the tides rise. And reinforcements, because that's what you'll be. What one would you like first?
I'd like to be the primary on the shepherd's path, please.
Primary on the Shepherd's Path. Noted. All right, Foresight faction. You may either choose the secondary slot on the Shepherd's Path, or you may choose anything else.
We want to be primary on the Go with the Tides.
Primary on Go with the Tides. Noted.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your manners. And he's going to glare at Irina. Now, Irina, what would the Syndicate of Rights like to choose?
Like to be primary on reinforcements.
Primary on reinforcements. Noted. Otis, Company of Honor, what do they choose? The
My
secondary
God.
slot?
Now, an account that I once worked for Shepherd and his sheep, we will be secondary on Shepherd's Path.
Secondary on a Shepherd's Path. That means for all of you, a Shepherd's Path is no longer available. The slots are filled. Now, back up to the Contract Consortium. Arbiter Themis, what would you like your second job to be?
Secondary on a small problem, please.
All right, now the primary slot is available. You would like to opt into the secondary slot, is that right?
I think it's better to be fair, don't you?
Oh, yes. Yes, I would. Very well. Secondary slot on a small problem for Contract Consortium. Foresight faction, your second job.
For the second job, we'd like to be secondary on reinforcements, please.
Secondary on reinforcements for Foresight faction. Noted.
Looking forward to working with you, Irina.
You have a friendly, polite ally there, Irina. Now, where would you like to choose for your second job?
Your observation skills are tantamount to... who knows. We would like to
Puts the
take...
glasses on and glares at you.
We will take... secondary... Shut up. We will take secondary on Go with the Tides, so we will be working together twice.
His face is bright red, and he looks at Emmerich, and Emmerich's just gonna kind of shrug.
That's such good news.
Indeed it is. I won't have to tell Leaf that he'll have to deal with water.
Very well. That puts Company of Honor. You are forced into the primary slot on a small problem, which means that it looks like the Contract Consortium and Company of Honor will be working together this month, as well as the Foresight faction and Syndicate of Rights.
Excuse me, sir. I choose primary on that job. We are not forced.
Yes, of course.
Indeed.
Contract Consortium, thank you very much for your generous donation. The rest of you could loosen up on your pockets a bit. I'll be seeing you next month. Good luck. Try not to be slain. He's gonna gather up his papers and grab the coin and head on out.
May Norderber bless you in your sleep.
Norberg may not bless me. I don't want him blessing me.
Too late.
I'm going to have a talk with your leaders, Arena.
Do it.
All right. So physics walks on out. You guys are now all free to return to your guilds. Emmerich is going to stand up.
Well, so you're all a feisty bunch, ready for adventure. Physics has got a bit of a temper, you might want to watch out for that. He does control the Alliance coin.
He does not intimidate me.
I'm sure you don't intimidate him either. Well, the best of luck to all of you. Now, these jobs are already scheduled, so the first one that will be coming up, what was it that physics called it? A shepherd's path? You'll be escorting the shepherd first, so it looks like Foresight Faction, Syndicate of Rights, no, Company of Honor, Contract Consortium. You two are up first. The rest of you can start making your preparations. Good luck. This officially begins the competition. Remember, work together, make the Alliance proud.
Aye. We
Of
will.
course. And get to retirement.
I'm years off from that.
I bet you'll catch the adventuring bug, Otis. Retirement's not easy for an adventurer.
You sound like Leaf. I'm out of here.
You talk to me about that after this, all right? Well, you're all dismissed. Good luck. All right, guys. And that is going to wrap up our session 0. So out of character, next week, which is September 1st, same time, 7 p.m. We've got the Contract Consortium and the Company of Honor teaming up on a Shepherd's Path. So that will be our first official job of the season. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in, for interacting, for your shares, for your likes, for your stars. We appreciate you very much. Last season went very well because of you guys. So we're very excited to be able to do a second season. Thank you to all the players. I'm very excited for the cast this season. You guys are all awesome. And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you later.
Later, Gator.